guys, it's KINO. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card, we are going to be seeing what you are doing right, why you should be so proud of yourself, and just overall why you are amazing. In this reading, we're really going to be focusing on the positives and just bringing you encouragement to keep going along your journey. There's not really much to explain for this one in terms of like the format, because we're just going to be hyping you up the whole time and showering you with love and compliments. So yeah, let's just jump right into it and show you guys your options. So there are 4 readings for you to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of the crystals one by one, and then please pick whichever one or ones you feel drawn to the most. It's totally fine if you guys want to choose more than one, because there's no limit to how much love and encouragement you should receive. So yeah, without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Number 1 is Mozarkite. Number 2 is Azurite. Number 3 is Dalmatian Jasper. And number 4 is Lepidolite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the Mozarkite, this is going to be your reading. Just before we get into the cards, there is a kind of specific message that is coming through that maybe just a few people need to hear, but it's like you can get more sleep, or you could get more sleep. And it's not coming through in a lecturing kind of way, like you need to sleep more, but it's like almost like affirming to you that there is a way that you can sleep more, or like giving permission to you to sleep more. I'm not really sure why it's coming through like that, but it's like you could wake up a little bit later if you have a more efficient morning routine so that you can be more rested. It's like you can make your morning tasks quicker so that you can sleep more, or like you could go to bed a little bit earlier. It's like, we want you to have more sleep. We want you to be rested. I don't know, that was just coming through specifically for a few people. But let's just get right into the cards. Like I mentioned in the intro, there's not really much for me to explain when it comes to this reading. So yeah, let's get right into it. Your first card is Healer of the Ages. Then we have North Node with Life's Purpose. Compassion. Bronzite. And then we have Dream Thief, Refusal of the Call. And Death. I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. Okay, I have to say, like right off the bat, I'm quite surprised to see this Death card here, because when I pulled out Bronzite and Dream Thief, I noticed that they were both number 13s. So I was like, ooh, repeating number 13, that's kind of reminding me of the Death card. And then literally the next card out was Death. So there is, first of all, there could be some heavy Scorpio energy going on here. So you guys could have Scorpio placements. Maybe you guys have like one of your nodes in Scorpio, like the North Node or the South Node. Shout out if you do, because I have my North Node in Scorpio. But it could be in the broader sense that there are heavy vibes of transformation going on here. I think that you guys have changed a lot over the past, it's been a while. You guys have been committed to a long transformation journey, and I think that that's the first thing that you guys should be really, really proud of yourselves for. I feel like you guys have become a lot more mature and a lot more committed to yourself and to your healing. And I think you guys need to give yourselves a little bit more credit when it comes to like how self-aware you are, how emotionally strong you are, and your ability to heal yourself and take care of yourself. Sometimes along the way, you might feel discouraged, like that something still upsets you, that something still triggers you, that negative thoughts come to visit every now and then. But the overwhelming message that I'm getting is like, you're doing so much more amazing than you realize and then you give yourselves credit for. You know, as humans, I feel like we're always gonna be grappling with that dark energy, but you carry yourself so well and you take amazing care of yourself. You guys have healed. Yeah, like you guys are the healer of the ages. And this is so silly, but I just heard it in my head, like, and the award for healer of the ages goes to group number 1. Like, you guys have been committed to your healing and to your growth. And I'm just especially getting this feeling of emotional maturity. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but it's like, I feel like you guys have moved from an energy of being like reactive, being emotionally reactive, to actually being able to observe your emotions, and make sense of them and process them. Like, so we're not just impulsively reacting to things emotionally, but really sitting with ourselves and asking why we might feel this way, and validating that emotion in a healthy way and like processing it in a healthy way. Like, I feel like your relationship with your emotions has just really, really blossomed, and you've really come to understand yourself. And you guys have purged so much. Like, you've purged so much negativity. Maybe you've purged like toxic habits or ways of thinking, and your energy is much lighter now. I mean it in like lightweight. Your energy is lightweight. Your energy is glowing. And I'm also hearing that if you were to meet somebody who hasn't met you in a couple years, like they haven't seen you in a while, they would be like, oh my god, you've changed, like something about you seem so much happier. It seems like you're glowing, you seem really at peace. Like, people would be so amazed at the shift in how you carry yourself and the shift in your energy and how you're just glowing from the inside out. And I think this is something you guys need to give yourselves credit for, because often we don't really see these changes day to day. Like, we don't see ourselves progressing day to day, but if we look back in a longer term, or like I gave in the example, if we meet someone we haven't met in a long time, we realize like, oh crap, I've changed a lot. And I think you guys have really, really transformed. You have really turned from a caterpillar into a butterfly. You guys have made amazing changes that benefit you and that make you stronger. And oh my gosh, I just looked up and saw 555, which is like angel number of huge change. Yeah, you guys have gone through tremendous change and tremendous growth, and your spiritual team is so proud of you. You win the award for healer of the ages. Now let's talk about, I also want to mention, because we have a lot of cards, or all of the cards, that are like 1 paired with another digit, you know, like 13, 41, 51. If you guys are coming up to an age like 21, 31, 41, 51, this could be a significant age for you guys, but it could also be indicating that a lot of areas of your life are about to go through some new beginning, because, you know, we have number 1 that's talking about new chapters, new beginnings, paired with all these different numbers. I'm thinking like, this is transforming, this is transforming, this is transforming. Your life is doing a complete 180. Some of you guys maybe are still in the process of this transformation. Others of you might be just coming out of it, but you are really like drawing a line in the sand and starting a new chapter in your life that is very, very exciting. And I think it's because you finally answered some call that was stirring deep within your soul. Your spiritual team is very, very proud of you, because you have identified and answered some calling that is within you, whether it is career related, whether it is creative related. It could even be related to like healing the collective, humanitarian efforts, activism, sharing your gift, speaking up for others. There's some calling that your soul has that you guys have, maybe you weren't aware of it for some time, or maybe you were ignoring it or putting it off for some time. But I feel like with this card, you guys have really, really answered the call. And with the North Node, you're moving towards your life purpose. You're moving towards your soul's mission. Not only have you healed yourself tremendously, but I think that part of your calling is to heal others too. And it's not even, well, for some of you, you, it may be that like you're feeling called to be a spiritual healer, that you're feeling called to enter into a career that helps others emotionally. I just heard like that helps others get back on their feet or helps other people know themselves. But for others, it's like you're healing the collective kind of in an indirect way, just by leading by example, just by living your best life and expressing yourself. What you do will inadvertently heal other people. An easy example I could give could be like, you know, a creative person, a musician, a writer who it's like, you know, they're pouring their passion into their craft, but their work is out there healing other people. And you're not necessarily going out there and telling others how to heal, but it's a product of what you do. So your life purpose is going to heal many, many people. And I feel like you guys have really, you've really answered that call, and you've addressed any resistance that you felt to it. You addressed what was holding you back. You addressed, like with this dream thief, what might have been stealing your energy away from your dreams, where you were pouring your energy that wasn't helping you, and you've let go of it. But what I'm seeing with this is that, you know, through this whole process, you've done so with compassion for yourself and with love for yourself. And that's such a beautiful thing. And I also think that you've maintained compassion for others throughout this process, which means that through your process of healing, you might have realized that, you know, this wound, this toxic way of thinking, this insecurity comes from, you know, the influence of a certain person in your life, the relationship you had with a certain person in your life. But I feel like you always maintained compassion for others that you've met along the way or that you had significant relationships with, and tried to understand, you know, what they might have been going through on their journey. And I feel like you've done an amazing job at forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And actually, one thing I do remember about bronzite is that, is it called courtesy? It's like the stone of courtesy, or the courtesy stone, or something like that. And that's kind of reminding me of compassion. Like you're moving forward with compassion for others. You're moving forward with grace. I'm being reminded of the strength card. I feel like the death card and the strength card are like significant for you guys. So Leo energy could be significant as well. But the other thing I know about bronzite is that it talks about like taking focused action, or taking action from a place of mental clarity. Like this is what it helps with. So I feel like you guys have gotten a lot of clarity about what your calling is and how to move forward, and you're not running from it anymore. Like you're taking that leap of faith to pursue your calling. And I'm really, really excited for you guys, and I'm really excited for what's to come. So with that, let's take a look at your tarot now and see what else we can celebrate and praise you for. Oh my gosh, I just noticed too. I was talking about there's so many number ones, so many indications of new beginning, and then on the death card, it's literally talking about a new beginning. Yeah, there's a major cycle ending and beginning in your life. And I just love the commitment to self that I see in here, and the compassion for self that I see here. We could all really benefit from being more like you, honestly. Okay, so for my lovely group number ones, what else do they have to be proud of? What else are they doing right? We have the 9 of Swords. The 4 of Cups. Ooh. The Ace of Wands. The High Priestess. Oh, this is very nice. This is very nice energy. And then we have the 6 of Swords. Wow, okay. I love the transition. I love the transition that we have going on here. you know, starting off with the Nine of Swords and ending with the Six of Swords. I feel like the Six of Swords is such a perfect answer or such a perfect remedy to the Nine of Swords, because the Nine of Swords represents, you know, a troubled mind, a mind that is worrying, that is anxious, that is overthinking. And then the Six of Swords represents like a clear and calm and peaceful mind. I feel like you guys have done some amazing work on your mental health and on taking care of your mind, whether that's just through like training yourself to think in a more positive way, or maybe that was through seeking some sort of help, some sort of counseling, taking care of your body, like whatever it is that you guys are doing for your mental health, whether you're doing it yourself or with the help of others, or even with the help of medication, whatever it might be, it's like you've really committed to taking care of your mind and helping yourself to feel better and helping yourself to think in a more positive way. Maybe something that you guys have done recently that was really great for you is saying like, it's okay to need help. Like if I can't just flick a switch in my mind and think positively, that's okay. But I deserve to be able to have a positive and healthy mind. With that being said, some of you guys maybe have succeeded in just having a healthier mind, in changing the way you think, in changing your mental habits, in like through affirmations or through the law of attraction or something like that. I really feel like there is no right or wrong way to come from the Nine of Swords to the Six of Swords. And, you know, this being a general reading, you guys have maybe gone about this in different ways. But what I'm seeing is the growth. What I'm seeing is the transformation. I also think it's really cool that like 9 and 6 are flipped numbers. And I think I was even saying before, like you guys have gone through a 180. So I feel like the 9 and the 6 are very, it's like a very literal depiction of that you've gone from maybe like someone who is quite anxious, someone who worries, someone who expects the worst, someone who overthinks, to now someone who, you know, expects the best or has a more realistic outlook on life, which ends up being a more positive one, who has a peaceful mind, who is able to calm themselves down when they get stressed out, who is able to look on the bright side when things are hard. Like you have such an amazing mind, or you're in the process of creating a very healthy mind, which is like your home, which is like your place to live. You're creating a happy mental home for yourself is kind of how it's coming through. But I'm really, really proud of you guys for that. With the Four of Cups, the way this was coming through is like challenging yourself to see your own strengths. I think because it came out next to the Nine of Swords, which tends to be like I said, we're expecting the worst, or we see the worst in ourselves. And the Four of Cups, which has to do with, you know, there's something that you're not seeing. It's like even in the times where you might have been thinking more pessimistic, you challenged yourself to see the positive. So it was like, even if your brain kept telling you that you have all of these weaknesses, or that you're not good enough, or whatever it might have been, there was a part of you that challenged that and said, no, I know that I have strengths. I know that there's something that I can celebrate about myself. And it's like you boldly challenged to look for that and find that. Maybe some of you guys were like writing positive affirmations about yourself, or practicing positive self-talk, even when it didn't feel so natural, even when maybe you didn't believe it. But it's like you pushed through that and you practiced it and you worked it like a muscle until it became second nature. And it's interesting how this person, like, you can see the muscles in their body. It's like you embraced that having a happier mind and thinking more positively was like working a muscle. And I feel like you really didn't give up, and you really searched for your strengths, and you really searched for reasons to love yourself until it just became so natural. And it's like you didn't give up on yourself, and I feel your spiritual team being really, really proud of you for that. Now let's talk about this Ace of Wands and High Priestess, because both of these cards make me think of having a very, very strong connection to your higher self. I feel like right now you and your higher self are like this. You know your higher self very well. You know your soul very well. With this, like, you're answering the call, you're transforming, you're pursuing your life's purpose. It's like you know what you came here to do, and you know what the future has in store for you. The High Priestess represents that deep knowing, and I like that. I think it looks like a dream catcher that she has over her heart. And this is like, it's making me think that your heart is ready to receive. Your heart is ready to receive the fulfillment of your dreams, because the High Priestess has that deep knowing of what she deserves and what is coming to her. Ace of Wands for me has always had this special meaning. Well, maybe not always, but for a long time. It's had this special meaning of being very, very connected to your higher self, and also of channeling. Like, you could be channeling actions from your higher self, channeling words from your higher self, especially like if you guys are a creative person. I very often see with this card, you are creating and birthing things into the world that come directly from a higher power, or from a higher consciousness, a higher source of knowledge. So in addition to your higher self, this could be like spirit guides. This could be more advanced, I want to say like more advanced civilizations, more advanced souls who are out there in other dimensions. You are channeling genius. You are channeling wisdom from them. I'm hearing like chosen one, and I know that sounds very dramatic, but I'm just looking at the healer of the ages, the Ace of Wands, the High Priestess, and I just heard chosen one. It's like you've been chosen to birth something into the world that is otherworldly, that is not of this world, but that is going to serve the world very well. And it's in alignment with your own dreams and your own desires. And that's why you've been chosen for it. That's why you're coming through as the chosen one. You guys might find, first of all, you might find that you're receiving downloads, like you're receiving very strong emotions, or you're receiving truths and you're not really sure where that came from. Certainly didn't come from anything in the 3D. Or you might find, like I said, that you are speaking things, that you're having sudden impulses to take certain actions or go to certain places, that it just feels like something came over you and you couldn't fight it, and you feel that urge and you just have to go for it. If you guys feel these kind of urges, or feel these kind of impulses where suddenly you feel very, very inspired or very, very positive about going forward with something or creating something, that's you guys channeling something from a higher intelligence and from a very, very loving source. And so I would say a piece of advice for you is to act on those urges, to act on those promptings from higher dimensions. And you might be surprised. You might be surprised at what you say. You might be surprised at what you create. Like, I have no idea how I came up with that. I have no idea where that came from, or how I thought of that, or how I made that. And it's because you're being assisted. And so for this to come out in a reading of what you're doing right, I feel like maybe some of you are you've already been channeling a lot. You've already been birthing these amazing creations, or these amazing ideas, or speaking these amazing words into the world. So your relationship with your higher self and with higher beings right now is like, this is so weird. I don't know why I'm doing this, but it's amazing. You're very, very tapped in. And often the High Priestess gives me this vibe of like, you're more tapped in than you realize. You're definitely more connected than you realize. And then, yeah, we have the Six of Swords, which I spoke about before. It's that mental clarity. It's that mental peace. The Six of Swords could also talk about like traveling, going on trips, relocating. That might be something that you feel called to do in the near future. But for others of you, you might already have this, again, like this urge or this feeling of being called to another place, or this desire to travel and expand your horizons. And I'm feeling a really, really huge green light on that. So, and this could even be relocating in the sense of like, you know, it doesn't have to be something as big as like moving to the other side of the world, but even if you felt called to like move houses or move offices or just go somewhere different than where you usually go. Anything about you like displacing yourself, I think is the word, or relocating yourself. I feel a lot of positive energy surrounding that, as well as any desires that you might have to learn about another culture or learn about another language, or, you know, how things are done in other communities, in other parts of the world. I feel like that's going to be very beneficial for you guys as well. I'm just looking at the Mercury in Aquarius here, and like with Mercury being about your intellect and your learning, and then Aquarius being about like, you know, people from different walks of life, or things that are different from you, broadening your horizons. Yeah, anything like that I think is going to be really, really amazing for you guys. So man, you guys are coming through very, very powerfully. I really, really like your energy. So just to finish off this reading, there's a couple different decks that I want to use. This is my homemade one, so it's not as pretty, but we're going to use this one, and then we're going to use the Crystal Wisdom Oracle cards to get your final messages. Okay, what else does group number 1 need to know? We have recognition. So you guys have some recognition coming to you very, very soon. Oh, interesting. Because at the beginning of the reading, we were talking about, I feel like you guys are going to meet some people you haven't seen in a long time, and they're just going to be raving about how good you look, and, you know, how well you're doing, and how your energy just seems so different. And the words like glowing and radiant and bright, like those are coming to my mind really, really strongly. People are going to feel your energy is a lot more radiant, is a lot more bright. And so that's going to be like your recognition that you've really made progress, and that you've really grown, and that you've really healed. And of course, when it comes to these journeys, the most important recognition is your own recognition of yourself. But it certainly doesn't hurt to hear this external confirmation. It's like, damn, I really have changed. You know, when, like, for example, maybe this is kind of a dumb example, but I was on like a hair growth journey. I was trying to grow my hair long. And when I went back to Canada, I knew that my hair had grown. But again, like, because I see my own hair every day, I couldn't really tell. But then when I met people after however many months, they're like, oh my God, your hair is so long. And it made me feel better. Like, okay, if people are noticing such a huge change, then I really, really have changed. So I think you're getting that kind of recognition that you really, really have changed. But also, with this emphasis that we've seen on you guys, like birthing beautiful things into the world, moving towards your calling, I think that this recognition is also talking about like public recognition for your work, or recognition from your superiors, from your employees, from your peers, of like, wow, you're really on fire. You're really doing amazing work. And also the word genius is coming to my mind. I feel like someone's going to be praising you for a genius idea, for a genius creation. What else do we have for group number 1? Ooh, we have relationship. So there's a new relationship coming to your life, or multiple new relationships coming to your life. And ooh, you already know. So That's interesting because the whole time I was shuffling, I was like, man, I wish that I could elaborate more on this relationship, but like, but nothing was coming up. I'm like, who is it? Like, what kind of relationship is it? I wish that I had more to say. And then you already know came up. So like, I don't know if there was some inkling that you guys got when you saw this relationship card, like, oh, I bet that's talking about so-and-so, or I hope that that's talking about so-and-so, or like, I hope it's this type of relationship. But yeah, this is saying you already know. And that actually goes really, really well with the High Priestess, because when it comes to these kind of messages, the High Priestess is like, you already know that, you already know intuitively, you've already felt it. You know, the High Priestess is like, you know what's coming to you. And because you're very much in alignment with your higher self right now, I know that any relationship you guys are attracting right now is going to be very, very good for you. It's going to be a very high level, high caliber, fruitful relationship. So let's take a look at the crystal oracle cards now. I believe these ones are, yeah, these ones are like affirmations. So let's take a few of these for you as well before finishing off the reading. What affirmations can we give to group number 1? So we have Prehnite with trust. I trust myself and the divine flow of the universe. Hiddenite with gratitude. I am grateful and this loving energy fills every single cell of my being. And Awakening Crystal, Soul Awakening. I am awakening to my true essence and I am a full expression of my soul's vibration. Yes, yes, this is what I felt with the Ace of Wands. Like, you guys are really, it's like you're getting to know who you truly are and what your soul truly feels like. And I actually feel very emotional when I say this, because I feel like maybe when you guys were living in this Nine of Swords energy, you thought that was you. You know, like, I'm someone whose energy is heavy. I'm someone whose energy is scattered. I'm someone who is anxious. I'm an overthinker. It's like you identified with those things without realizing that that's not you. That was never you. Like, that is not your essence. Your essence is so rich and colorful and free and beautiful. And as you get to know your soul, as you get to know your higher self and what your true essence is, I think that it's very, very emotional. Like, when you stop identifying with this Nine of Swords and realize that you're so much more than that. It's like this remembering. You realize you were in this Nine of Swords energy because you forgot your essence. And this Nine of Swords energy is like a cloak that you can take off and free yourself and remember who you truly are. And I also love this, I am a full expression of my soul's vibration, because it's like you're expressing the whole spectrum of who you are. I just wanted to also, yeah, these two stood out to me because we got two stones that are like a greeny, yellowy color, a light green kind of color. This could be a lucky color for you guys, or if you do enjoy crystals and purchase crystals, you may enjoy having crystals of this color around you. So like light green, yellowy green, could also be like a yellowy, brownie kind of color. Aragonite just came to my mind. I think I actually have, oh God, is this gonna end up being me like fishing for 5 minutes? Oh, thank goodness. She was at the very top. I have this yellow aragonite and I really enjoy her. I don't know, that one just came to my mind. So you guys might enjoy having this crystal with you. But yes, group number 1, these are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that or any of my other songs, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 1, I am sending you guys so much love. I am so excited for you and what you're gonna do in this next chapter. You already know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Azurite, this is going to be your reading. So we're just gonna get right into the cards. Like I said in the intro, there's not that much to explain for this reading. We're just gonna get right into hyping you up. So let's see what your oracle cards are. To start off, we have the 4th chakra with Archangel Raphael. Then we have Uranus with Genius. Inspiration, Auralite, and then we have Hollow Bone, Teachability, and Purpose, I know what I am here to do. Wow. Okay, so let's just go through these in order. I'm going to start on this end with Hollow Bone and Teachability. And actually, I want to talk about this image for a second. The first thing that's standing out to me is this. It looks like a musical instrument, and I just saw 111, by the way. Oh, and this is the number. Wait a minute. Okay, I just saw 111 on the camera timer. This is 28, which reduces to 1, and then 38 reduces to 11. So there's a lot of 1s going on. There's a lot of 11s going on, which actually brings me to something I wanted to say about this card, but let me just let me just gather myself and get myself on track. The first thing I wanted to talk about is this musical instrument. So this could be indicating that you guys are incredible musicians, or you have some creative talent that you are very excellent at that you should give yourself more credit for. Or I'm even hearing for some of you, you're being praised for your musical taste. So there might be a lot of people around you who think that you have very good taste in music, in art, in fashion, or that you're very, very talented in those things, because it could definitely be both. So that was the first thing that I pointed out here, and then, or that I wanted to point out. I'm getting too excited with this group. The other thing I wanted to mention, we saw all of those repeating 1s, and what I was gonna say with the feathers is that feathers remind me of signs and synchronicities. So I think that you guys are very in tune with your surroundings, and your spiritual team is saying that you've been picking up on like literally all of their messages. They're saying like nothing can get past you. I feel like anytime they drop a little hint for you, anytime they drop a little sign, or they come in to bring you a message, you guys pick up on it like that. So maybe you guys, probably you just watch these kind of readings for confirmation because you already know, and it's just nice to have that confirmed to you. But you receive every last little sign, every last little message that they drop in your path. And maybe this is also something that you just need to give yourselves a little bit more credit for. Maybe sometimes you think you're kind of, that's a reach, I'm taking it too far, that's just in my head, but you are actually bang on with interpreting signs and synchronicities. If you guys do read your own cards, I also think, or do any readings of your own, I think that you interpret them extremely well, and it's like you have this gift of getting to the heart of what your higher self and what your spiritual team are trying to tell you. So you have excellent communication with the spirit world. They're definitely tipping their hats to you for that. But then finally we get around to the keyword on this card, which is teachability. So for those of you who are students, whether you're going to school or teaching yourself, I think that you guys absorb new ideas and become skilled at new disciplines very quickly. It's like you take on new skills or take on new knowledge very quickly. For some reason, the hollow bone, it was making me think of like porous, and then it was making me think of a sponge. So, oh yeah, and we even have genius. It's like your brain is just like a sponge. You guys are so smart. I feel like you're fast learners. I feel like you're very adaptable. You know, earlier in this reading when I was talking about you guys having some sort of amazing skill or creative talent, if you were listening to that and thinking like, no, that's not really me, let me tell you, you could learn very, very quickly. You guys, it's like if you set your mind to something, you can become an expert at it. You can become a genius at it. It's like, I'm seeing this teachability as like you learn quickly, you absorb quickly, you memorize quickly, you adapt quickly. So yeah, you guys are incredibly intelligent and incredibly talented. Not only that, but with this fourth chakra, aka the heart chakra, you guys are just so sweet. You guys are literally angels, angels walking on earth. I feel with this heart chakra card that you guys are so kind, and you just have this empathetic nature that comes to you naturally. You're very, very sweet. And I think that if you were to ask people who know you, they could just rave about how kind you are and how you have touched them. I feel like maybe you guys don't realize what a positive difference you've made in other people's lives with your kindness. And also, I think that you guys really inspire other people. I think that your talent inspires people to pursue things that they're passionate about, and to almost like you inspire people to get on your level. That's the way it's coming through. Like, let me get up and do the thing. Let me get up and do what I wanted to do. And I also think that you inspire other people to be better and to be kinder and to live their lives to the fullest. I was just thinking about the green color of the heart chakra, and then I saw that this little dragon has beautiful green eyes. Green might be a lucky color for you guys, or maybe this is just highlighting that you have very, very beautiful eyes, and that's something else that people would compliment about you. Also, can we talk about the luscious hair on these cards? Like, they both have long and luscious hair, so I think people would really compliment your hair, your eyes, your facial features. What can I say? You guys are the whole package. But you know, I think that you guys have a lot of secret admirers, or it's like you don't realize how strongly you are admired, or just how many people are admiring you. It's almost like you would be surprised at how many positive things people have to say about you. I genuinely feel like this group like doesn't see how amazing they are, doesn't see all of these amazing qualities within themselves. Moving on to Auralite, this is a very interesting stone. I actually remember like looking this up when I first got this deck because I'd never heard of Auralite before. It's said to be a very, very powerful stone, and it's actually amethyst mixed with, I forget how many, but it's mixed with like a bunch of different other minerals. I think it's 20 something. But anyway, each piece of Auralite is different because it has different minerals mixed in with it. So like you never quite know what you're gonna get with Auralite. But this is a stone that is very good for calming. So calming worries, calming overthinking, calming anger. Like it has a very healing and soothing energy to it. So I think that this goes back to like your kindness, your kind soul, your empathy, your beautiful heart. There's something about your presence that makes people feel like everything is going to be okay, and that gives people hope for the future. Like you inspire people. I want to say you inspire people to believe in a brighter tomorrow. Like you give people so much hope, whether it's through the work that you do or the words that you share with them or just your presence. You have made such a positive difference for so many people. You have contributed to so many people's happiness, and then you inspire them to go off and be kind to others and make other people happy and give other people hope for tomorrow. And it's really, really beautiful to see. Like, the world needs more of you. We need more of this positive influence. And I think for you guys, it just comes so naturally that you wouldn't you wouldn't think twice about it. You're like heck yeah, why wouldn't I spread positivity? Why wouldn't I spread kindness? Why wouldn't I celebrate the successes of other people and lift other people up? Like, it just comes so naturally to you that I don't think you realize how special it is, and I would even say how rare it is. Like, that's not something that comes naturally to everybody, and this kind heart that you have is very, very special. I don't know, I don't know why people don't speak up more, but there's this feeling of you having secret admirers, or a lot of people are admiring you from afar, and like, you don't really see it. You don't really see the positive difference you're making, or see how amazing you are. Maybe some people are like scared to approach you for some reason, or they're just a little bit shy. I'm not sure what it is, or I don't know, maybe you guys are the type of person to just keep to yourself. So, but if you were to come out of your shell and talk more with people, you would get to see all of these amazing things that they're thinking, all of these amazing things that they're saying about you behind your back. But yeah, there's this feeling of like how amazing you are is not really reaching you. With purpose here, I think that one thing that's really inspiring about you is like your passion. So if there's something that you guys are really passionate about, your career, your creative pursuits, your education, something that you've poured a lot of your effort and your heart and soul into, I think that that is very, very inspiring for others. Like your drive, your commitment, your determination to what you do. And again, I feel like you inspire other people to discover their purpose or to move towards their purpose. Wow, I'm getting such... Your energy is very, very powerful. And it's like, I know this might sound cheesy, but it's really an honor to sit with your energy. So let's get into the tarot now and see what else we should know about group number 2. Okay. My group number 2s. What else should group number 2 be proud of? What else makes group number 2 so amazing? We have the 6 of Swords, the King of Cups. Okay, I'm hearing wisdom. I'm getting major wisdom vibes. We have the Ace of Pentacles, Strength, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, so first of all, we have Leo energy here. So you guys could have Leo placements in your chart, but actually this Leo energy is giving me like main character vibes. So basically, you guys are that bitch, or you guys are that person. Again, I feel like there's so many people who admire you, who look up to you, who take inspiration from you, who want to be more like you, or who want to live a life more like you. I was raving a little bit about your physical appearance as well earlier, about your hair, about your eyes, and now also I'm thinking legs, because we have this emphasis on the person's legs. So maybe you guys have very nice legs, or like a very nice body, or that's what people admire about you. I feel like you guys are really, really hot, and some of you may realize that and own that, and some of you guys might not be so aware yet. It's like you need to embrace your hotness and really come into your hotness. But yeah, Leo would also be an emphasis on hair, because I think of like the lion's mane. There's something about your natural hair that is very, very beautiful, that it really stands out to people, and people find it very attractive. Okay, so let's start over here with the 6 of Swords. The first thing that came to my mind with this is that you guys are very easy to talk to, but also the words that you say, the words that you communicate have so much wisdom. With the King of Cups right next to it, this was giving me wisdom vibes. So you guys, like, you speak a lot of truth, or when you express yourself, you word things in a way that is very easy to understand and that is deeply moving. So you guys could be very good storytellers. You could be very good motivators. I also think that you guys are very insightful. It's like you're very observant as you move through the world and experience life, and you have a way of like learning from your experiences and taking that and wrapping it up and delivering it almost like you can teach others from your experience. And you can bestow your wisdom upon others from your own experience. I think you have a deep level of insight that allows you to unlock truths in life that maybe doesn't come so easily to other people. It's that idea of like, when I hear you explain it like that, it all makes sense. Or like, I've never thought of it that way before. You put into words what I felt, but I couldn't put my finger on. These are things that people might say to you, or you're so articulate, you have such a way with words, the way you put it all together, it's so beautiful, it makes so much sense. This is the kind of vibe that I'm getting with these two cards together. The King of Cups is highly spiritual, highly intuitive. I think we mentioned before that you guys have, that you have a very strong connection to your spirit guides and to the spirit realm. And you guys know how it is. A lot of the messages over there can be quite abstract and can be a little bit difficult to translate those energies into language and apply the teachings in a 3D earth setting. But I feel like you guys are very skilled at translating your spiritual insights into language, or translating those feelings that we all have but that are just, it's kind of hard to put your finger on. Like, people have it on the tip of their tongue, what I'm supposed to learn from this, and you just have a way of putting it into words so beautifully. And I think that your ideas and I think that your truths could resonate with a very, very large community, or a very, very large group of people. It's funny, this card came out in group 1 and it has like the Mercury and Aquarius on it, but I'm seeing this a little bit differently in your situation. I think Mercury is talking about your intellect and what you communicate and the ideas that you share, and then Aquarius is talking about like the masses, the community at large, different groups of people. The wisdom that you have is universal. So it could touch people of all ages, of all backgrounds, of all cultures, of all walks of life. And because of you're a very empathetic person, I think that you have the ability to relate to and empathize with someone, even if your experience has been completely different. Like, you haven't walked in their shoes, they haven't walked in your shoes, but you still understand them and see their humanity and have compassion for them, and you could still relate to them. So that's something that you guys are very, very skilled at. Now, not only do you have amazing spiritual connections, but I feel like people also admire you. Well, definitely they admire you physically. We spoke about that because the suit of pentacles, it makes me think of like, physical things in the physical world. But I also think you come off as very like abundant or prosperous to people. You have, the only way that I can think of saying it is like bad bitch energy. But I don't want to like gender that term, but like that's just the kind of energy that you give off. I guess I could also say like boss energy, leader energy, main character energy, like I mentioned before. Aquarius energy could also be significant for you guys, because this vase reminds me of Aquarius. We have Aquarius here, we have Aquarius here, because that's the sign that Uranus rules over. But yeah, so there could be something about like the way that you guys dress, or the possessions that you guys have, that makes you look very put together and attractive, or people see you as someone who has a lot of abundance or who has a lot of wealth in their life. People see you as someone who is very successful and who has it all put together. And you know what? I would say that they're right. And I would say that Maybe you guys need to give yourselves more credits for your accomplishments and for your successes and for the wealth that you've created for yourself. Not just material wealth, but I think that you guys, like I said, you have a wealth of wisdom, you have a wealth of inner and outer beauty, you have a wealth of intelligence, you have a wealth of insight. Like, you guys are very, very wealthy in so many different ways, and that's something that is heavily admired by the people around you. And I'm hearing the word aspirational as well. Like, people aspire to you, to be more like you, to live more like you, to think more like you. Like, truly, truly inspirational. Then here with the Seven of Cups, I am getting dreamer or dreamy vibes from this card. So there's something about you that is ethereal or otherworldly to people. I think that you guys might be like unconventionally attractive, which is very interesting, which is very exciting. It's like you're so beautiful, but like in a unique way, in a different way. It's not something that you see every day. Your beauty is a breath of fresh air. Your beauty cannot, oh, I just heard like your beauty cannot be recreated. You know, there's not like hundreds of group twos walking down the street, hundreds of group twos on social media. Like, your beauty cannot be replicated, it cannot be recreated, because it's unique and it belongs to you. And it is outer, but it emanates from within, and like your soul cannot be copied. One thing that I would say for you guys is, like, if you've ever tried to just, you know, copy someone else's beauty or compare yourself to someone else's beauty, you're doing yourself a huge disservice, because the uniqueness of your beauty is like, it's out of this world, and there's no one quite like you. And that's what is so beautiful. But yes, I get very dreamy, ethereal, otherworldly vibes from you. The eyes are really standing out on this card. It's like big doe eyes or big dreamy eyes. There might be several people who are like crushing on you or dreaming about you or fantasizing about you. One thing, I don't know, this Venus in Scorpio is making me think of this. Not that Venus and Scorpio people are like this, but just those two energies together. You know, with Venus being about, it's like falling in love and beauty. And then Scorpio can sometimes have this like control dynamic or power dynamic. And then the Seven of Cups is like dreamy, but can also talk about illusions. I would say this group maybe needs to be wary of, it's like there's some people who fantasize about you, but it's like you're this powerful free spirit, and there are some people who would want to like make you theirs and like tame you, so to speak, or like put you in a box of their choosing. And it's like they see your free spiritedness as like a conquest. Like if they can make you theirs and they can shape you into a version that they want you to be. I don't know, maybe you guys have dealt with people like that, or that's just something for you to be aware of. Just be aware of people who are like fantasizing but like projecting something onto you that you're not. And keep that free-spirited nature of yours, and don't let anybody put you in a box or fix you or change you, including yourself. Don't let yourself do that to yourself either. Yes. Oh, and Seven of Cups reminds me of crown chakra as well. So even more confirmation that you guys are very, 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 very tapped in. I think that you can read people very well, and I think that you can see through bullshit very well. So you don't have a lot to worry about, but I just wanted to mention that if you ever had a sneaking feeling like, this person is trying to change me, or like this person loves their fantasy of me, this person loves the idealized version of me that they created in their head, like that, there might have been some of that going on, and probably you stayed away from that or you learned the hard way and now you stay away from that. But that's also something that I think you're being praised for, is like you can see through that kind of crap, and you know that like if you change yourself for someone else's validation, like that's not even a validation worth having. I don't know. It's kind of an abstract thing, but I hope you guys can understand. I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to interpret from that energy. Basically, you're staying true to your free spirit, and that's what I want to praise you for. Okay, so we are going to finish off the reading with a couple of little oracle decks. This is one that I just threw together, and then, you know, this is a nice fancy one, but we're going to use both of them and get some final messages for you. Okay, so we have vacation. Okay, you guys deserve a vacation. You deserve to treat yourself. You deserve to pamper yourself. Ooh, we also have it's a surprise. If I put these together, surprise vacation, perhaps. One thing that I didn't mention before is that the Six of Swords can have meanings of going on trips or traveling or going somewhere new. And then we have the King of Cups right next to it, which is the Suit of Cups is equated to the summer season. So maybe some of you guys are going like on an unexpected trip during your summer vacation or winter vacation if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. But you know, the upcoming season, the season that is coming up next, you might be going traveling somewhere or I feel like you're going to be treated, taken out somewhere, taken on a trip, or get some time off, but you don't know it yet. So it's like a nice unexpected break, a nice unexpected treat. But I feel like this is coming out just so that you guys know you deserve to be pampered. You deserve to be spoiled. And you will be. So let's get one more from this deck. We also have healing. Yeah, you guys need time to rest. You guys need time to heal your body and mind and to replenish. I am seeing this healing less of like a, you know, shadow work, spiritual healing kind of vibe, and more just like you're replenishing your energy, you're replenishing your body, you're refreshing your mind, and then you're coming back to work, school, your daily responsibilities, all fresh and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and energized and ready to go. It's like a rejuvenating, replenishing kind of healing that I feel your higher self is calling for. Okay, so we are getting to our final deck now. I'm also going to take 3 from this one. Does that one want it? No. Okay. Okay, so first we have Serpentine. Did I bring my Serpentine? You know, I might have left mine in Canada, but I really like it. My life is transforming at the perfect time in the most powerful way. This is funny. So Serpentine is reminding me of snakes. You know, sometimes when there's snake imagery in a reading, I don't have the nicest things to say about it because I think of like someone being a snake. But I thought of how snakes are like sneaky. And then I thought of it's a surprise. So I feel like, okay. I'm just remembering what we spoke about at the very, very start of this reading where it was like, your spiritual team can't get anything past you. And I feel like your spiritual team has been trying to plan like a really nice surprise blessing for you, but you keep like picking up on it or you keep like seeing signs that it's coming and you're like, oh, this blessing is coming for me. And your spiritual team is like, damn it, like we can't hide anything from this person. They're trying to bring you some like really nice blessing, really nice transformation. They were trying to plan a surprise, but maybe you guys already know what this is referring to. Then we have citrine with abundance. I am aligned at all times with the abundant energy of the universe. This powerful energy flows through me into every aspect of my life. I love citrine. One thing I want to mention, it's known as the merchant stone. So any of you guys who are business owners, or if you're thinking of starting your own business, starting your own online shop, starting your own platform, selling something. The energy is really, really favorable for that. I just heard like merch, like making merch or making an online store or selling your services. Also earlier in the reading, I didn't mention it, but I was like smelling really nice cooking. So maybe some of you guys would do like a catering business or open a bakery or like, I don't know, something related to food or the food industry. You could be successful in that as well. But if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I was just reading this recently, that merchants would keep, or business people or whatever, would keep citrine in their safe to bring abundance. I actually have a really nice, I love this piece of citrine. Isn't she gorgeous? I'll just put her here. And then we have dioptase with love. I am love and love is me. So let's see what colors we have here. We have, ooh, okay, so we have yellow, green, and blue. We have yellow, we have yellowy green, and then we have greeny blue. So that whole spectrum, I feel like that whole spectrum of colors could be lucky for you guys if you do enjoy crystals and purchase them and carry them with you. Any crystals of this color, I think, would be very lucky for you. I personally love citrine. I like serpentine, even though I abandoned her and left the one piece that I had in Canada, but I do really, really enjoy it. I've never owned this, I don't know how to pronounce it before, but I don't even know if it's like an affordable one, but anything that's like a greeny blue, turquoisey color into the yellowish shades, I feel like would be nice for you guys. But oh yeah, and this stone that you chose also has blue in it. But yes, group number 2, these are all the messages I'm seeing for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose a topic that will sorry, I just burped. That will be linked down below too. And I have, oh my god, oh no. I have a music channel. I think that's where I'm at. I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2, I'm sending you so much love. Thank you very, very much for allowing me to bear witness to your energy. It was a pleasure, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Dalmatian Jasper, this is going to be a reading. So we are just going to go ahead and get right into the cards. Like I mentioned in the intro, there's not much to explain in terms of the format of this reading. So let's get right into it with your oracle cards. So to start off, we have Storm Warning, Venus with Love, Magnificence, Amber, Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, and Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Okay, the first thing that is standing out to me is that the energies of these two cards feel very similar, like this Dust Devil moving out of stagnation and this Storm Warning. First of all, I think this might be relevant to a specific phase of your life that you're going through. It kind of looks like something has reignited your passion for life recently, or will be very, very soon. Something has like brought that spark back to your life, brought that passion, that zest back to your life. It's like maybe you guys have fallen in love recently. You've fallen in love with a person, or fallen in love with a certain path that you want to pursue, a certain way of expressing yourself, and it's like a soul that was once dormant has been like electrified and brought to life again. But what I'm seeing is that you guys have this, it's like you're lit up, you're a firecracker, you're something to behold. Your energy is infectious to be around. I see you having this energy and this enthusiasm that is very, very infectious. I do feel like that could just be your energy in general, but I was sort of getting the feeling like something that has happened recently has really lit you up, or something happening very soon is really gonna light you up. And it's like your love and your passion is emanating from within, and it makes you very attractive, and it makes you very exciting to be around. Your overall energy, I feel like you guys definitely have a wild side to you. Whoa, you know what? Can you hear that? It hasn't been like super windy today, but literally when I was staring at these cards and talking about your wild side, the wind was like howling outside, and I feel like it's really, really similar to the imagery here. You have a wild side to you. You have this electrifying side to you. There's something about you that is very exciting. It's like when you throw your caution to the wind, when you're uninhibited, when you express yourself unapologetically, when you don't make yourself smaller to make others comfortable, and you just explode and let it all out, there's something about that is so beautiful and so exciting. And I also want to say there's something about that is very sexy. I'm just looking at the number 15, and it's reminding me of the devil in tarot, which can talk about having this kind of sexual magnetism about you. And then amber looks like red hot and passionate, and we have Venus here as well. You guys are definitely being praised in this reading for that like spontaneous, uninhibited, wild side that you have. And for those of you who have been suppressing it, I mean, this is just me, but I really wish that you wouldn't. And I'm really, really sorry if anyone has like made you feel bad for having that side to you, or tell you that you need to be quiet, or that you need to be smaller, or that you need to be more chill, and you need to be more plain and vanilla and just fit in the box and stick to the status quo. I feel like your soul is here to shake things up, and is here to have a good time, and is here to be wild and free. And the more you can just let loose and let that part of your spirit come out, well, first of all, you're gonna have a really good time, but the right people will find that very exciting and very attractive, and yes, very sexy as well. That message is coming up too. And with this love message here, maybe there's something about you like attracting the right partners, like the right romantic partner, or attracting the right friends into your life as you start to just like drop the act and let your freak flag fly and be your natural, chaotic, wild self. There are people who will really appreciate that, and who will dance in the rain with you, and who will go on adventures with you, and who will have fun with you. And if you stay vanilla, you're gonna attract vanilla people. And there's nothing wrong with being vanilla, by the way. Vanilla is great, but I feel like that's just not you. I feel like you need danger, you need excitement, you need a thrill in your life. And that's something that's actually very, very beautiful about you. Like you're alive, you're living, you have this zest for life. And I don't know, I feel kind of sad, because I feel like some of you are suppressing that, or some of you like have been made to feel like that's bad. Like you just have to be like prim and proper and decent and be quiet. And no, make yourself big, take up the space, let loose, be free. That's what I feel coming through really, really strongly. And it's interesting that we have a lot of like red and orange, you know, these passionate, vibrant, bold colors coming through. It's like your higher self wants you to be more bold, and your higher self doesn't want you to apologize, and your higher self doesn't want you to silence yourself. Like just let it all out. throw your inhibitions to the wind. This is the kind of vibe that I'm getting. You are magnificent. You are something to behold. I think when you're your authentic self, it makes people very excited. I think you're thrilled to be around. And I'm looking at this Dalmatian Jasper and like the duality of it, the black and white. And I'm thinking of like, get you someone who can do both. I feel like you have a multifaceted personality, and I think you also have a little bit of mystery to you. There may be things that you're very interested in, things that you're very educated about, things that you're very passionate or opinionated about that people wouldn't necessarily expect. I feel like anyone who would try to pin you as a certain type of person, or any person who would try to put you in a certain type of box or put certain labels on you would be very, very surprised. You know, like, oh, you must have these values and these beliefs because you look like this, or you're from this demographic, or you wouldn't be into that kind of thing because you're this kind of person. I feel like there's things about your personality that, like, they go against people's stereotypes and they go against people's biases, and they challenge people of like, oh, maybe I can't fit everybody neatly into a box. Maybe I can't predict how every person is going to be. Maybe I should be a little bit more open-minded and take time to know people. Like you surprise people like that. You challenge people like that. You shock people like that is the kind of vibe that I'm getting. And, you know, the same way this reminded me of the devil, number 10 is reminding me of the Wheel of Fortune, which is this kind of unpredictable energy. So your unpredictability is very exciting, and you have a bit of like mystery to you. I think that is very alluring. People cannot just read you and know like, oh, they're XYZ type of person. You really got to peel back the layers. And I feel like you guys have a lot of layers. You have a lot of facets, and I can see how you're very, very magnetic, and people could get lost in you, and people could become like obsessed with peeling back your layers and getting to know more about you. And the second they think they have you figured out, you throw them another surprise. I feel like you're hard to pin down, but it's exciting. I don't know, I just feel like exciting and sexy from this group. I'm sorry, I feel like I've said sexy so many times, but like that just keeps coming up. Also, if we're talking about numbers, we have 3 and 4 here, which means that you guys have a balance of the Empress and the Emperor in your personality. You have a balance of masculine and feminine in your personality. And, you know, we were just talking about you guys go against stereotypes and might challenge people to think in a different way. Maybe there's a lot about your personality that goes against your like traditional gender role. Maybe some of you guys are also non-binary, but I think you go against like, you know, you should be like XYZ because you're a woman. You should be like XYZ because you're a man. And you kind of, I feel like, well, you could challenge small-minded people if you are being true to yourself, but I'm just getting that sneaking feeling like there's maybe a few of you watching this who have dimmed your light and, you know, put yourself in a very small box to cater to those small-minded people, especially if those small-minded people were, you know, close to you. You had a significant relationship with them. And if you resonate with that, if you feel like you struggle to come out of that box, or maybe you've even forgotten what it's like to be this dust devil and to be this storm and to be completely free and out of that box, I hope that you will find the courage to free yourself. And I hope that you'll find the courage to realize like you don't have to apologize for who you are. And it's not your job to be palatable or to be understood by people. And I feel kind of emotional when I'm saying that. So maybe this is something that you guys have struggled with. But with this gratitude message here, I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. I think when you're at your truest self, one thing that makes you really, really attractive is like I said, you just have a zest for life. You're enjoying the moment fully. You're grateful for each experience that life brings you. But I also think this is a little piece of guidance for you guys that no matter where you're at in this journey, whether you're still struggling to embody this energy, or, you know, you've really fully embodied this and, you know, you can look back and say the hard part is over. I think this card is encouraging you to be grateful for every step of that journey. And it's like maybe you needed to lose yourself to really find yourself, or know what it was like to be out of alignment with yourself in order to truly appreciate how good it feels to be in alignment with yourself. So this is what I'm seeing for your oracle cards, or your first round of oracle cards, I should say, because we have more coming later. But oh, I don't know why I didn't even think of this before, but you have like the white and black, which is like yin and yang, and then you have masculine and feminine energy. Some of you guys could also be like mixed ethnicity, or grew up in two different, like very different countries, very different environments, and struggled with that feeling of like, I'm not A enough to be B, but I'm not B enough to be A. Like, just for an example, like, you know, let's say you're half Canadian, half Japanese. Then it's like you're too Japanese to be Canadian, but you're too Canadian to be Japanese. And it's like, maybe the past you would have like tried to put yourself in box A or box B just to please the people on either end of the spectrum. Whereas what your higher self is wanting to do is say like, I'm both, and I'm also neither, and I'm everything in between. And I don't have to be just one or the other. I don't have to be just black or white. I don't even have to have a label. Jeez. Okay, so group number 3. Let's get into, woo, that came out really fast. Knight of Wands. I'm not surprised to see that. Ace of Cups. Two of Wands. Four of Swords. And the Knight of Cups. Okay, so starting off with the astrological placements that are present here, with the Two of Wands here, we have Mars in Aries. This could be a placement that you guys actually have, or you could have dominant Aries energy in your chart. It's interesting that we have like Aries, Mars, and then we have Libra and Venus. Like Venus is the planet that rules Libra. You could also have Libra energy in your chart. Jupiter in Libra, that's probably a very small few of you who would have Jupiter in Libra, because that only happens every 12 years. But if I'm not mistaken, if you're born in 1993, you probably have Jupiter in Libra, or 1981 or 2005. Anyway, just in case that's relevant. But let's go through these in order. So we have the Knight of Wands here. One thing that you guys are definitely doing right is working on building up your confidence. You know, we spoke about this struggle that you guys might be going through, or that you might have gone through at some point when it comes to expressing yourself authentically. I feel like no matter what stage you're at in the journey, you are doing everything right. So even if you feel like you're still more in the energy of like, I'm struggling with this, I haven't mastered this, that does not mean that you're doing something wrong. That does not mean that you're behind. I feel like you're doing a great job right now. You're doing the best that you can to work through these struggles. I feel like you've really committed to yourself and to becoming confident. And also, like I said, I feel like you guys have this renewed burst of enthusiasm towards something in your life. And I should mention, this doesn't have to be towards something that is productive or something that is going to make you successful. Those may have been the examples I gave at the beginning of the reading, and so I'm going to kind of check myself there. while it very well could be renewed enthusiasm towards your career or towards a project or towards studying something, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. Maybe you guys became very passionate about like your favorite game again, or your favorite musician, or you became passionate about cooking or eating or your pets or whatever it is. If you felt a renewed spark, like, oh, I'm having a renaissance of loving this thing that I used to love, or I'm excited about something, you are doing something right. Getting excited about the things that you love and spending time enjoying them and having fun with them, I feel like this is such an important step to like getting back to your truest self, is honoring the things that you naturally love, that you naturally like, that naturally make you excited. And I don't know, I want to really emphasize here that like not everything that is worth doing like produces some sort of results or produces some sort of monetary gain or some sort of recognition. Like I said, it could literally be you guys getting excited about your favorite TV show or your favorite songs, or getting excited about snuggling with your cat or making a scrapbook or whatever it is. I think your higher self loves to see you have fun and doing the things that you enjoy, and wants you to spend as much time as you can or as much time as you want to on those things without feeling guilty or without feeling like you're wasting time. If you're having fun and enjoying yourself, you are not wasting your time. And when you do things that are so enjoyable that like the time is flying, that's when you're in the zone. That's when you're connected to your soul. Like you're doing things that feed your soul. You're doing things that light up your soul. Now, if you do want to be more focused on like career and producing results and things like that, you could think about why you enjoy what you're doing so much, and, you know, see if that translates into, is there a certain project I could do? Is there something I could work on that incorporates these elements that I really like about this thing that I enjoy? You know, is there some way I can make that into like a career or make that into a project? But only if you feel called to do that, because sometimes we just need to have fun for the sake of having fun, and like nothing needs to come of it, and it's still valuable time. So yes, that's one thing that I think you guys are really, really doing right. It's interesting. I'm looking at this Ace of Cups here, and the Ace of Cups in this deck, well, this deck is really unique. It's really provided me like unique perspectives of the cards, I feel, but I thought it was so cool how the aces have these like masked figures, have these like cloaked figures on it. And there's a couple different ways I can interpret this. For one, I do think it is a reiteration of kind of like unmasking why you like the things that you do so much, because I think that that can help you. I think that that can help you get to the essence of who you truly are. Like, why is this enjoyable to me? Where is this passion coming from? Why does this make me so satisfied? If you can get to the heart of that, you can unmask your pleasure, unmask your joy, and see like the essence of you that is giving rise to that joy, if that makes sense. Like, examining what you love will help you know more about yourself and more about your essence and more about your soul. The other thing, which is kind of a very different interpretation, is like you don't necessarily need to share what you love with everyone else. And maybe it kind of goes back to that idea of like not everything needs to produce a result. Not everything needs to propel you forward. Let's say you guys really love, let's say you really love singing and you have a very good singing voice. Maybe you have this thought of like, oh, I should start a YouTube channel where I, you know, sing. Or I should try like recording a song. You know, if that's what you really, really want to do, then you should 1,000,000% do it. But maybe for some of you, there's things like that where it's like, it's in your head that you want to do that because, you know, capitalism is always trying to find a way to like monetize everything. or maybe just a lot of people around you have, oh, you know what you should do? You should post covers. You should try recording a song. And you think like, oh yeah, maybe I should make something out of this thing that I like. And I think what this reading is really trying to get at is that it should be a personal choice, and it should be a personal choice that you make for yourself, and because that's what you really want to do, and not because there's any pressure. Some of you guys maybe, and honestly, this is something I should check myself for as well, and maybe just the collective. I feel like we've put so much emphasis on like being creative and being your own boss, and you know, making your passion into a job and stuff like that. Maybe some of you guys have tried that out and it wasn't for you, and that's okay. Like, if you want your passion to stay a hobby and then just have like a job, have like a 9-to-5 or have a regular job, that's okay, and you shouldn't feel guilty. Like, maybe you guys have gone through a phase where you tried to make your passion into a job, but that like sucked the joy out of it, or you just didn't feel confident or comfortable to really share it with the world like that. And maybe some of you guys loved it and you were really successful with it. But what I'm trying to say is that either way, it's okay. Because at the end of the day, all that really mattered is your own enjoyment and your own passion and doing it for yourself. You know, like, your freedom is being able to do whatever you want. Whatever you want with the things that you love, and you don't owe it to other people. If you want to share it with other people, that's great. If you want to monetize it, that's great, but you don't have to. I'm sorry if I was a broken record, but that's basically what I'm seeing with these cards here. And then we have the Two of Wands right next to this. So this is like, you guys can literally be whatever you want to be. Like, life, the world is just a bunch of open doors for you guys. You can do whatever you want, and you don't have to put yourself in any kind of box or feel pressure to live in a certain way. The Two of Wands indicates to me a lot of the time, like, there's some talents that you guys have that you don't know about yet, or some things that you'd be very good at that you don't know about yet. But as long as you keep further exploring what it is that you do know you like right now, I feel like you're well on your way to finding these. Because the Two of Wands, it has this, it's not necessarily new things that come out of left field, but it's like adjacent possibilities. So I don't know, like, maybe you draw digital art and then you realize that you really, really like oil painting on a canvas, or you're an actor and then you realize that you really, really like directing. It's kind of those things that branch off, or in the same arena, that maybe you're really, really good at one thing, but there's other things in that area. So I think the Two of Wands is here to just encourage you to be open to trying new things, and with not really any expectations, because I think that puts pressure on, like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be good at it. I don't know if this is going to go anywhere. And the energy of this reading is like, that's okay. It doesn't have to go anywhere, and you don't have to be good at it. But, you know, if it's tingling your fancy, if it's piquing your interest, then you should be allowed to try it out. With the Four of Swords here, I feel like this is a very specific message that might kind of be off topic, but we see a person here who is astral projecting. So I don't know if you guys have been doing astral travel. This is a reading about what you're doing right. So maybe you guys have been successful in astral travel, or successful in lucid dreaming. Or you're well on your way to having a breakthrough and being successful in that. This is also reminding me of those, like, you know, meditations that have a specific goal. Like, I'm going into this meditation to meet my higher self, to meet my spirit guide, to meet my soulmate, to go to a past life. If you're doing anything like that with a specific goal, I feel like you're doing that right. Like, you found a method that really works for you, or you're like doing everything right, that it's only a matter of time until you have this breakthrough. If these aren't types of things that you're into, maybe this card is suggesting that you try it out. Like, if it's something that you've been thinking about, learning how to astral project or doing these kind of guided meditations or trying to have a lucid dream. That could be something that's very enlightening for you guys. But I want to tell you with this Four of Swords too, for any of you guys who have taken a break recently, who have taken a rest, you did the right thing. And that's probably why we see like this zest for life coming up again and this enthusiasm coming up again. That's so funny. Literally, the second I finish that sentence, the wind is going, ooh, it's like howling again. If you guys ever hear wind howling or like wind is blowing very, very strongly, or you see lightning, I feel like that's your spirit guides trying to get your attention. Like you're doing the right thing. You are on the right path. But yes, those of you who have taken a break recently or who are thinking of taking a break, that is 100% the right thing to do. This talks about stillness, inaction, periods of healing, periods of just processing and recharging. And like I said, I think this is why we're seeing the renewed spark and the renewed zest for life, because you gave yourself a chance to rest and recharge. You also, what a message that came through is like, you might need some time away from people and their bullshit. just need to disconnect, and that's very, very okay. And you should not feel guilty about that. Finally, bam, you have the Knight of Cups. Very specific message coming through here. One thing that you guys are doing right is I really think at this time in your life, you are surrounding yourself with the right types of people, or you know what types of people are good for you. This could be a general thing, like you know what kind of support system, what kind of social circle you need. You have good friends in your life, or you're in the process of creating good friendships. And for those of you who have a love interest or a specific person in mind, or you're energetically connecting with somebody, I feel like this message is saying you're on the money. Like you got the right person. You got the right bitch. Sorry, you got the right person. Is what I mean to say with the Knight of Cups here. I'm seeing this as someone who loves you, someone who cares about you, someone who is in energetic alignment with you, someone you're connected to intuitively, spiritually, psychically. You really, you're surrounding yourself with the right people. You've got your sights on the right people. Again, if there's like a specific person of interest, you got the right guy. You got the right person. Okay, so we're going to go on to the final part of this reading. So we're going to use these two little oracle decks. This is one that I just made myself, and then this is like a nice one. So we're going to take 3 from each of these decks and just get some final messages for you. What else should group number 3 know? So we have 2 coming out at the same time. Destiny and something better. You guys are destined for something better. I think that you guys have felt this. You have felt like my life can and will get better, and I deserve for my wildest dreams to come true. And that's what you're destined for. You are destined to rise above your struggles. I'm hearing like this can't be it. This can't be all. This can't be all that I'm meant to experience or achieve or receive in my life. I know that I'm worthy of more. I know that I'm worthy of greater things. Ooh, sponsorship and promotion. Okay. So for those of you who are grinding and working hard on a professional or creative goal, there will be some kind of promotion coming soon. There will be some kind of sponsorship coming to you soon. And we have guidance. So this could also be like professional, creative, educational related. You know, someone would be giving you mentorship or taking you under their wing, taking you on, I don't know how to say that. Someone who has very, very valuable insights and guidance for you. But of course, this can also be spiritual guidance from your higher self. Okay, so we're switching over to the crystal oracle deck now. What else does group 3 need to know? I have to move these because I already know I already know that it's not gonna fit. Yeah, okay. Now they will fit, I think. Okay, so you guys have, there's a lot of green stones coming out today for everyone. Brazilianite, flexibility. I am flexible and free to be me. Yeah, everyone's been getting like greeny, yellowy kind of stones. I wonder if you guys will follow the trend or if we'll get some varied colors. What else does group number 3 need to know? There we go. We got a nice red. Red tourmaline, passion. I am the embodiment of passion. I actually love these two messages together for you, like considering what we've spoken about in your reading. You're letting your passion come out and you're being open about it. You're being flexible about it. You're allowing yourself to try new things and get lost in the pure pleasure of it without expectation. Let's get one more for group number 3. What other messages do we have for group number 3? Oh, another red one. And oh, and didn't I mention like there's a lot of reddy, orangey colors going on here? Ametrine, intuition. I am fully aligned with my intuition. I trust this powerful wisdom to guide me. So what's kind of cool about ametrine is like it's a mix of amethyst and citrine, I believe. So it's kind of like a feminine and masculine energies put together, and then we had the feminine and masculine energies put together here. Same with like the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups is fire and water. And then you also had the stone which talks about, well, which is reminiscent of duality. So there's this beautiful duality within you guys, and you know, this can also be hinting about a certain counterpart, divine partner situation as well, if you guys resonate with that. But I just wanted to mention that. So let's take a look at the colors that we got here. Definitely reddy, orangey colors are significant for you guys, as well as green. I feel like these are lucky colors for you. If you guys do enjoy like purchasing crystals and having crystals with you, these could be, not necessarily these specific ones, but stones of these colors might be good to keep around. But just to recap, this was Brazilianite, red tourmaline, and ametrine. I actually do have a little piece of ametrine, although she just looks kind of purple. This one looks really, really cool though. Look at that. Okay, so yeah, group number 3, those are all the messages I have for you, so I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in checking out the full version of that song or any of my other ones, my music channel will be linked down below for you too. Group number 3, I'm sending you guys so much love, wishing you all the best on this journey. Enjoy yourself, have fun, rest when you need to. Don't think too much. Very easy for me to say and hard to do, but I felt like saying that. Don't think too much. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Lepidolite, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, there is not much to explain in terms of the format of this reading, so we're just gonna get right into it, starting off with your first round of oracle cards. So to start, we have Blossoming Abundance, Virgo, I Analyze, Innocence, Dalmatian Stone, and we also have Dances on One Foot, Balancing Act, and perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Okay, so there's Virgo energy here because we literally have the Virgo card, but I was just noticing we have this Virgo card with the number 18 that reduces to 9, which is the number of the Hermit, who's also a Virgo, and then we have the number 9 here. So it's like double Hermit energy, double Virgo energy. That might be a sign that is significant in your chart. Also Leo, because the number 19 is making me think of the sun in tarot. And this actually makes me think of the Empress, the blossoming abundance with the number 3. So Libra and Taurus energy could be significant as well. Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Taurus, I think is what I just said. So those could be significant signs in your chart, or that chunk of the year that is made up of Leo, Virgo, Libra season might be significant for you guys. So basically late July to late October, there might be some important things happening for you guys in that time of the year. Some important blessings, some important harvest happening with these two cards. Like some huge payoff is coming for the work that you have put in. And actually, one thing that you guys might be doing right now is continuing to put in efforts and not giving up on something, even though there is not an instant reward or an instant gratification. I feel like you guys are being very patient with yourselves or patient with your craft right now, where you may not be seeing results right away. It might not seem worthwhile right away, but you just know, okay, I just got to be patient a little bit longer. I just got to persevere a little bit longer. I got to keep my head down. I got to, stay humble and not let like my pride or ego get to me that I should have this success by now. I should have this recognition by now. And I just got to be patient a little bit longer and keep working hard. And what I'm seeing is that your hard work is going to pay off big time. And your patience and your belief in yourself and your faith is going to pay off big time in your life. I'm really, really excited to see this. We literally have a card that talks about blossoming abundance. I feel like you guys have really committed to creating abundance in your life, whether that be material, whether that be in terms of success, in terms of confidence, in terms of knowledge, because there's so many different types of abundance. But I feel like you guys are putting in a lot of efforts right now to enrich your life and to improve your life, improve the quality of your life. And you're definitely going about it in the right way. Like I said, I think you guys are less focused on like immediate results and instant gratification, and you're focused on the day-to-day efforts, and you're focused on consistency. I'm getting like 7 of Pentacles vibes from this group as well, like a slow and steady wins the race kind of vibe. I think you guys have been incredibly patient with yourselves and with the universe as well. And this is something that you're doing right, for sure. With this Virgo energy, I analyze if there's some area of your life that you've been, trying to get your stuff together in, or trying to organize a certain area of your life. That's definitely something that your spiritual team is applauding you for, and that they're also saying you're going about the right way. So maybe you guys, I just heard like bullet journaling. I don't even know what that is. It's just like a term that I've heard before, bullet journal. Maybe you guys are starting to organize your schedule, your day planner, your journal in a different way. Maybe you're adopting a new routine into your life, new habits into your life. Maybe you are decluttering or organizing your space. I feel like you're getting organized in some way and you're planning in some way, and you're definitely doing this right. Holy crap, I think that motorcycle agrees with me or whatever that was. Yeah. So yeah, you're getting your stuff together for sure with this Virgo energy. You're really getting your ducks in a row. I feel like you guys have been very responsible over the past few months, very well organized, and you're also taking the time to analyze. I just saw an image of like, those journals or those apps that has like a how did I feel today? How was my mood today? You know, I got these tasks done, I didn't get those tasks done. Someone who's like analyzing their habits, analyzing their fluctuation, analyzing their performance, not necessarily to reward or punish themselves for anything, but just to get in touch with themselves and see like, what am I enjoying? What am I not enjoying? What am I doing well on? What might need a little bit of extra work? I think you guys have really been observing yourself in this way, and this is definitely something that you guys are doing right, like analyzing and then seeing what might need tweaks in your life so that you can live your best and happiest life. Also, this is an interesting little specific message that maybe just a couple of you need to hear. I can hear someone telling you like you're reading too much into it, it's not that deep, like you're looking too deep into it, and that is not true. Someone is like, I don't know if I want to go so far to use the word gaslighting because I feel like it's thrown around a lot, but someone is misleading you and trying to make you think it's not that deep, you're over analyzing, you're overreacting, but you are actually right on track. Your intuition is actually telling you the right thing. Okay? Like you were right the whole time. Your suspicion was right. Yeah, somebody needed to hear that. I just wanted to mention that. So moving on here, we have innocence. For me, like the energy or symbolism of like innocence and purity is very, very similar. It just gives me this feeling of like, we can always have a fresh start. We can always start anew and we don't have to judge our past self. And so I think that what you guys are also doing right, or what you're being encouraged to do is, you know, you're getting your life together, you're getting yourself together, you're adopting healthier habits and things like that. And I think one thing that is really, really good for you guys is that you're not judging how you may have been in the past to determine who you can become in the future. That was really sloppy wording, but basically, let's say you're someone who always like woke up really, really late in the day, or your sleeping schedule was kind of erratic. You're not going to look at that and say, oh, I'm just that kind of person. I'm not a morning person. I can't wake up early, and like let that experience determine what you can and can't do. I feel like this is purity. This is a fresh start. You're saying every day I have the choice to commit to being a new person, or every day I can change. Every day I can start fresh. Every day I can be someone new. My past self doesn't have to determine that. And at the same time, I don't have to judge my past self and say they were wrong. They were doing it wrong. They were bad, they were mistaken, whatever it is. You're having compassion for your past self. You're saying thank you to your past self for what you went through so that I can be here now. It's like your past self walked so you could run. Your past self struggled so you could get it together now. So I think, you know, not only patient, but I think you guys are being very kind with yourself during this process. So interesting that we have Dalmatian stone here, because that was actually one of the options in this reading, like one of the stones to pick, Dalmatian Jasper. I'm kind of seeing how this ties into I analyze. I think that another thing you guys are doing right is like taking a more balanced approach to life, or taking a more like this and that can be true approach to life. So for example, if there's two differing opinions, like if two people are arguing, if you're seeing two people argue on the internet, or if you're in a disagreement with someone, rather than trying to figure out who is right, it's like you're trying to see the truth in both sides and see where both sides could be coming from. So, you know, finding the truth in that gray area as opposed to it's either black or white. And I also think this is happening on an individual level. So within yourself, you know, every human being has contradicting personality traits, contradicting beliefs. Like we all have these kind of contradictions within ourselves. And I even think in that, you're not saying like it's either one or the other. You're saying like, okay, these two contradicting parts of me can both be true, and they can coexist. Just for an easy example, rather than saying like, oh, my head says A, but my heart says B. So which one is right, my head or my heart? You're saying like, okay, both my head and my heart have valid points and they both deserve to be heard. And we can find the truth somewhere in the middle, or like we can find a way to honor both of them. You're taking this more like, I guess, balanced or nuanced approach to life, which I think is really good, and which I think does require some patience and some analysis, rather than just like emotionally reacting and saying that's right, or you know, it's not lazy is like the word that's coming to my mind, but you're not taking the easy way out by just saying like that's right. It's like you're really analyzing both sides of the situation, even the one that, you know, your knee-jerk reaction is to say it's wrong. You're like trying to see the value in that way of thinking, or trying to see the truth in that way of thinking, which I think shows a lot of like maturity. Yeah, it shows a lot of maturity. Oh my gosh, I didn't even I mean, I read this card, but I totally forgot this was here. Yeah, balancing act. I don't think I have much more to add in terms of the balance. With this dances on one foot, maybe this is a specific message for some of you guys, but you could be very, very good dancers. Or if you are learning how to dance, or pursuing a career in dance, or doing something with exercise or physical activity, that could also be something that you guys are doing right, or that you guys are being encouraged to do. And then yeah, perseverance. I feel like we've also spoken about this as well. Oh, I guess I should talk a little bit about this sun energy. I feel like if you guys aren't already, you're about to give birth to some wonderful creative ideas. And I think that a big part of that is you being open-minded, and you being open to gray areas, and sort of challenging yourself to put yourself in a different position, challenge yourself to see a different belief, or see the world in a different way, in a way that is opposite of what comes naturally to you. This like mental exercise that you guys are doing, it's going to give birth to a lot of creative ideas, which is very exciting. So, okay, let's get into your tarot now and see what else we want to reveal about you and what makes you so amazing. Okay, group number 4. What is group number 4 doing right? What makes group number 4 so amazing? We have the Knight of Cups, we have the World, the King of Pentacles. Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, that's actually very, very cute. So usually if a lot of cards fall out like that, there's this feeling of like, there's a lot I want to say to you. There's a lot someone wants to say to you. It's almost like, you know, I'm asking your spiritual team, or I'm asking your higher self, what is group 4 doing right? And they're like, like, how much time do you have? Like, they have so many things that they could list off. And I don't mean to limit them, but I also don't want to take like 7 cards that fell out. Okay, we also have the 4 of Swords. Interesting. And the King of Swords. So it's just interesting because both the 4 of Swords and the Knight of Cups came out for group number 3's reading. And then, did I mention? Yeah, and Dalmatian stone was the stone for group number 3's reading as well. So for some of you guys who felt like really drawn to group 3, maybe this is your confirmation that, yeah, there's some messages in there for you as well. Usually I go through the cards in order, but for some reason I feel called to start with the King of Pentacles. I think this is definitely a confirmation that you guys are doing a really, really good job at creating abundance for yourself in the long-term future. Like, with your patience and perseverance, it might take longer for you to get results with what you're doing, but they are going to last for a very, very long time. Like, the type of wealth that you guys are creating for yourselves, it's like it builds up slowly over time. I just heard like low risk. I don't know, maybe you guys are doing some kind of investing or some kind of financial planning that is like your resources build slowly over time, but it's going to be very reliable in the long term. So you guys are taking like a more cautious approach or a more conservative approach to your work, to your money, and that's something that you're doing right. For those of you who are working on some kind of passion project, like I just got a specific image of like somebody is working, they have a day job and they're also working on a passion project, and you know, maybe a lot of people around them or a lot of the media around them is saying like, if you're really passionate about what you're doing, like you should quit your 9 to 5 and just pour everything into it. And maybe you're taking a little bit more of a cautious approach, like you're erring on the side of caution and you're being realistic, like, you know, this might be a little bit unstable, I don't know if this is going to work out, so let me keep my security. And you know, maybe that means my passion project is going to take longer to realize because I don't have as much time to work on it, but I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not in any rush. So it's like you're not getting carried away. And I've you know, I sound like a broken record, but you guys are not getting swept away by this, like, you know, instant gratification, like, you know, drain your energy and get results quickly. And, you know, it's like you're just taking a very moderate approach. You're taking a very, like, wholesome and practical approach. And I don't know, maybe some people would say that's like lame or like you're lacking in passion, but I think it's because you're so passionate. Sorry, I don't mean I'm saying that. It might be something that you hear like from people around you or social media or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, you have big dreams and you're passionate, but you're still taking a very like practical and moderate approach, and that's good. That's amazing. So I think your spiritual team is very, very proud of you for like sticking to your guns and going slow and steady and being patient and being consistent. And I want to tell you that you guys are going to have very long lasting wealth in your life. I also think, again, like you guys are really good at finding balance where you're hardworking, you're disciplined, you're dedicated, but you also know when you need to rest and you also know when you need to just take a break. The Four of Swords is all about that. It's about resting, recharging. I think you guys, you know, you're very grounded in the material world, but you're also in touch with your spiritual side, which I think this is what the Knight of Cups is representing, and what this person is astral projecting. It's like you understand that connecting to the 5D doesn't mean leaving the 3D, or advancing on your spiritual journey doesn't mean that you stop being human. It's like you have a really nice balance where you're very connected to your spirituality, but you're also very much living on earth in the 3D, and you're very connected to your humanity and your human desires. And I think you have a very good relationship with your ego as well, where your ego doesn't, what is the expression? Your ego doesn't steer the ship. Your ego doesn't drive the car. Your ego doesn't wear the pants. But at the same time, you don't demonize your ego, because you're like, I'm just a human and I have one of those. Like we all do, and it's not inherently evil. Sure, it gets in the way sometimes, but it's all about balance. And you guys have just really mastered that. Like, I'm a spiritual being and I'm also a physical being. I work hard and I'm disciplined, and I also rest and nourish myself. Very, very, yeah. And I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but a lot of the times the number 9 gives me this feeling of something that's very well-rounded. I don't know, like a life that is very well-rounded, a life that is very balanced. I don't know if 9 even traditionally talks about balance. I think it's more even numbers that talk about that, but it's just like a personal interpretation that's come to me, specifically like living a well-rounded life. I don't know, you're just living life right, because you're living life in a way that really works for you. And the same thing when it comes to King of Swords. Recently, it makes me think a lot about like advice. I think that and discernment as well. King and Queen of Swords are big on discernment. I think that, you know, you're definitely open to taking advice from other people, but you understand as well that it's not like the be all end all. Even at the end of the day, like, you get to decide whose advice you listen to and whose advice you don't listen to. And you're not going to take someone's advice just because they're older than you or just because they have more experience than you. Sure, there's some merit in having more years under your belt and having more experience and being in a position of authority, but at the same time, you're the hermit, and the hermit marches to the beat of their own drum, and they're not just blindly influenced by external opinions and external factors. They always have that discernment of like, is this in alignment with my inner compass? So, you know, you guys are not gonna say like, oh well, my boss is saying that, so they must be right, or like, this veteran in the industry who has all this experience, I gotta listen to them because they know what they're talking about. You can say like, you're probably right and you know what you're talking about, but that just doesn't really work for me. That's not really the vibe for me. You know, I'm also getting like a specific image of like, I don't know, a nutritionist or something, or a dietitian was saying like, this diet is really, really healthy. And you're like, okay, that's probably true, but when I eat that diet, I don't feel good. So you're gonna discern, you're gonna check in with your inner compass. And at the end of the day, you have like the final word because it's your life. So that's also something I think you guys are doing right. Also, King of Swords has that very analytical energy too. You know, we do have court cards representing both emotions and logic here, the Knight of Cups and the King of Swords, with the King being like bigger or more evolved than the Knight. This could be indicating that just at this time in your life, you're favoring logic a little bit more than your emotions, which I think is actually, at this time of your life, the right thing to do, because this reading is about what you're doing right. Maybe at some point in the future, you'll feel called to, you know, rely more on your emotions, more on your feelings, more on your whims, and that will be what is right for you at that time. But to navigate this chapter, I think we're going more with our logic. We're making decisions more from an objective place, more from a detached place. So now we go over here with the World, and it's interesting. This is kind of, I think a message like this has come out in 3 out of 4 of the readings, if I'm not mistaken. Like something about traveling, expanding your horizons, exploring new environments being really, really good for you. Maybe you guys are going to be moving soon, or like you're thinking that you want to, especially to faraway places, or you're planning to visit a faraway place. And I think that this is something that is going to be really, really good for you. The World can also talk about expanding virtually. So if this is not like physical relocation, maybe some of you guys are like starting a social media page, you know, you're putting yourself out there on a broader platform. The World is just about your expansion. You know, interacting with broader audiences, with broader communities, putting your energy out there on a bigger stage. Like you're growing, you're getting bigger. So whether you're planning to travel, move, relocate, expand your social media, or all of that, I feel like that's something that's going to be really, really good for you guys as well. The World is also about like completion, graduating, leveling up. So if you guys were thinking about like asking for a raise or going for a more challenging position soon, I feel like that's also something that you should do, and that's also something that would be right for you. But with the World, I'm getting this feeling of like renowned, admired. So you guys are building a very, very good reputation for yourselves, and some of you guys might be even building a little bit of fame, but whatever it is, you have a lot of admirers around you. And one thing that's specifically coming through is like, it's the very people who would openly criticize you, like criticize you to your face or question your way of living to your face, and then be like a secret admirer behind closed doors. It's like this feeling of like your haters being your biggest fans secretly. There's that kind of vibe going on, which is which is interesting. But yeah, this is what I see for you guys. So in the final part of the reading, we're going to be taking a look at these 2 oracle decks. This is just one that I made on some paper, and then this is like a nice one. So let's start with this one. We're going to take 3 from each of them just for your final messages. So group number 4, what do they need to know? I have to say, your energy or like doing this group has put me in a very nice mood. Like I'm happy, yet I'm calm. Okay, oh my god, look. Moving and relocating. Interesting. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but when I pulled this card, like a siren started going off. So there's like big emphasis on you guys moving, relocating, traveling, something like that. Moving houses, moving offices, moving departments, switching gyms, like just relocating to another place. Oh, that was the wind howling. I was like, is that another siren coming? No, it's the wind howling. She's been doing that a little bit today. But yeah, even more emphasis on this message. Also weirdly specific, but some of you guys might start going to a nicer supermarket, or like start shopping at your favorite supermarket, or like you can go to the shops that you like, rather than just saving money or something like that. You can start treating yourself a little bit. Okay, we also have destiny. So maybe there was so much emphasis and so much noise around this moving and relocating because it is a part of your destiny, or it's in alignment with what your soul wants to do. And then we also have union. Yeah, so you're coming into union with your destiny. You're aligning with your destiny, coming into union with your soul tribe. Yeah, with souls who really get you, with souls who really uplift you. Okay, let's take a look from our crystal deck as well. We have Sunstone with empowerment. I am empowered in all areas of my life. I'm getting Emperor energy, like you guys are the boss of your own life. We also have Golden Calcite with inspiration. I am inspired in all that I do. Yeah, and we were talking about with that number 19, which reminded me of the sun. Like you guys are getting some major creative inspirations. Let's get one more for group number 4. Ooh, okay. And Amazonite, life purpose. Oh my gosh, look. Destiny union, so we're like aligning with your destiny. And then we have I am fully aligned to and living my life purpose. Yes. And I actually think that I have all 3 of these stones, which is the first group out of all of them that I have all 3 of them. I have Sunstone, and then some Golden Calcite, and then Amazonite. Oh, I have 2 Amazonites. This one is pretty large. Okay, I'll put the large one. She's cute. Okay, yeah, so it's interesting. The colors, it looks like traffic lights. Is that a freaking helicopter? Are you kidding me? Man, it's a lot of... Do you guys like get confirmation through clairaudience, or like through noises, or through music or something like that? Because we had a motorcycle, we had a freaking helicopter, we had a siren, we had the wind was howling. The spirit team is loud, I will tell you that. The spirit team is very loud this fine day. There's also some crows screaming outside now. Anyway, so it's funny that these came out looking like traffic lights. Maybe it's like your spiritual team saying it's go time. But yeah, these are all very affordable and very nice crystals. Lepidolite as well. So I don't know if you guys like the way these look, if you feel inspired by them, maybe these would be your lucky crystals. I really like Amazonite personally. I think it's considered to be like a manifestation stone. It helps you to speak things into existence. yeah. Okay, so yes, that's all for group number 4. I'm gonna end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this reading was an original song, so if you're interested in checking out the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4, she's so hot. Okay, group number 4, I am sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.